haven't been home in almost 2 years, and there's this deep feeling in my gut that I may not return home for a while. My therapist made it clear and reminded me that it was probably better for my well-being to not return until I healed all the wounds that home had left. I felt pretty good by my decision and felt deeply supported by it. My day would start like any other day, slowly arising, eating good, and preparing to see the therapist in the afternoon. I received a message from my youngest sister asking if I heard about what happened to my 2-year younger sibling. Confused and worried, I respond, "What happened?" She responds with lightning-like timing. Passion got shot. And they're in critical care at the hospital. Heart sunken below, pulse pounding through skin, stomach turning with anxiety and nausea, dancing as one. I thanked my sister and told her to keep me updated. Confused and worried, I sat with this jarring news that ripped through my business as usual plans for the day. Should I stay or should I go? Anger, sadness, and fear washes over me. Sitting in my therapist's office, doing my best to seem normal. It didn't take long for her to ask what was going on. I shared slow and hesitantly, as if this would make it less real. "What are you going to do?" she asked, in a tone that reminded me what I was returning to. It was alongside a louder tone that clearly understood why I would need to go home. With no money, I had no clue how I would make this last-minute decision work. The next day, with the help of my therapist and my partner at the time, I would magically have just enough to make this trip happen.
There's gotta be some room for mistakes in this world.
It was about 1 a.m. I was chilling in the projects with the girl I knew and a few other folks from the neighborhood. I had a few bucks in my pocket, so I decided to treat my friend and a few others who we'd been hanging out with. I go to light her cigarette, and behind my ear I hear, "Run them pockets. I want everything." I froze for a split second and quickly looked behind me, immediately recognizing who it was. Henry. That's what they called him around the hood. I noticed the sleeveless tee he had been wearing that night and a gun to the back of my head. I bolted to the right, away from danger. I hear a loud bang, and before I knew it, I'm on the ground. I was probably down for a few seconds before I got up and started running. I tried to yell for someone, but I could barely speak a whisper. I'm racing up a slight hill towards an apartment building. The first door I see, I start banging. No answer. I try the next door. No one available. It seemed like everyone vanished. Out of breath, scared, I lie on the sidewalk. My back was feeling odd against the pavement, almost like a hot burning feeling, so I sat up. I look up and notice someone staring at me from the second floor window. In my mind, I'm thinking, don't just sit there and watch me die. Nevertheless, I had to act fast. I quickly pull out my phone and call 911. Never thought I would have to use the lock screen emergency call on my smartphone. I explained the situation to the dispatcher with the bullet through my windpipe. Surviving a bullet through their lung and windpipe Passion's story ends in resilience. For the shooter, the narrative is what you would expect. He gets the criminal label, some years in prison, and may find himself continuously in the cycle with a small probability of given a real chance at finding an identity outside of that which is saved for all the bad and evil people. I was angry and went along with the narrative like my family, because what would you expect? That was my family he shot. But he is not the problem. What needs and comforts need to be taken away to make a kid shoot someone because he doesn't have enough money? I'm left from this story with immense love and gratitude for my sibling Passion and their courageous story of survival. I'm also left withholding 2 quotes compassionately. Dr. Philip Zimbardo states, "Good and evil is at the heart of every person. It is a matter of circumstances that pushes a person over that line." And the second quote of "Hurt people hurt people." This story continues this day to teach me compassion. I have been the therapist for myself and others. I have been a victim, metaphorically shot down by the weapons of racism, classism, and socialization. I have been a shooter, carrying out the destructive role society has scripted for me. The more I can see the webs of relationships with all these parts of myself, the more I can forgive and love these aspects of myself. The more I can see I in all.